Odin was the first locomotive to operate in Denmark. She was one of 5 locomotives built for Denmark in Manchester to a standard design by Sharp Brothers and Company in 1846 for the opening of the first public mainline railway in Denmark between Copenhagen and Roskilde on the 26th of June 1847. Odin was one of 5 locomotives ordered by the Zeeland Railway from Sharp Brothers. Number 1, of course, was Odin. Number 2, Copenhagen. Number 3, Zeeland. Number 4, Denmark. And number 5, Korsør. Odin was a typical member of Sharp Brothers' 6-wheeled passenger locomotive, itself an evolution of Robert Stephenson's patent T-type of the 1830s. Designed by Carl Friedrich Beyer, perhaps best known as one half of Beyer, Peacock and Company of Gorton in Manchester, Odin had 5 feet diameter driving wheels, 3 feet 6-inch diameter carrying wheels, and inside cylinders measuring 15 by 20 inches. She used Stephenson Link valve gear. Odin was a big locomotive for her time, with a boiler barrel 10 feet long and 3 feet 6 inches diameter, working at 80 psi. Perhaps the most distinctive part of the design was the large brass-covered steam dome on the first ring of the boiler barrel, containing the regulator, supported by a rectangular plinth. Odin and her sisters was accompanied by a 6-wheeled tender, capable of carrying 1,000 gallons of water. Odin and her sisters operated between Copenhagen and Roskilde for about 15 years. Numbers 2 and 5 were scrapped between 1862 and 1865, whilst Odin, Zeeland and Denmark were completely rebuilt between 1864 and 1866. They received new, larger 100 psi boilers made in Copenhagen. The cylinders, valves and wheels remained unchanged. Weight in working order was 20 tons, of which 12.5 was on the driving wheels. In this form, these rebuilt locomotives were known as number 1 Odin, number 3 Rota, and number 4 Hildur, and they lasted for another 10 years or more. Odin herself was scrapped in 1876, Rota in 1882, and amazingly Hildur lasted until 1888, but obviously not in frontline service. A full-size working replica of Odin was commissioned in 2018, having taken volunteers 15 years to build. No original drawings for Odin could be found, but the North British Locomotive Company, which succeeded what was then Sharp Stewart and Company, supplied general arrangement drawings for a Sharpie-type locomotive in 1908, from which a superb 1/10 scale model was built in the 1920s. Based on meticulous research by the doyens of early railway historians, Dr. Michael Bailey and John Glitherow, the replica Odin was unveiled to the public at the Danish Railway Museum in Odense on the 15th of September 2018, pulling a train of authentic 19th century passenger coaches. Odin provides an opportunity to see and travel behind the only working example of one of the most popular of all early 19th century locomotive designs, the Sharpie, which saw service not just in Britain, but as Odin demonstrates, across Europe and in Scandinavia. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please leave a comment below. Please also like, share and subscribe and click the notification bell. I'd also like to thank my supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi for making this video possible, and if you would like to join them, links are in the video description below. And I look forward to seeing you all next time on Rail Story.